Hello, everybody, and welcome to the 27th episode of the Direwolf20 119 Modpack series here. Last episode, we finished off doing some other stuff with the Apotheosis mod and with the backpack mod, which I do have right here still. Not the backpack mod, the Infinity Tools. But before we start the episode off, let's just see how our pickaxe is doing. Our pickaxe is about a third of the way there. So let's leave that there. So what I want to do now, guys, is I want to get an SPS generator to generate ourselves some antimatter. However, SPSs require ludicrous amounts of power. So I have two goals this episode. I'm not sure if I'll be able to get both of them in, but I'll try to. My first goal is I want to just build the maxed size big reactor. And my second goal is, as you guys saw in my spaceship, I have a a fissile fuel fission generator. I want to get a max size fissile fuel generator and have it be with sodium, and then use that sodium in a boiler to get steam, and then kind of do that so I can get more power through that as well. And then finally, I can use all that nuclear waste from that to go into neutron reactors to get the polonium I need to input into the SPS casing. The SPS is definitely going to be next episode. I'm not going to be able to get it done this episode because this episode is just purely focused on getting ludicrous amounts of power. And I think that's a very good place for us to start. Now, I'm going to start with the big reactor first because I think that'll go pretty fast. So if we go to big big reactor, there's a whole bunch of stuff here that I have to work with, and I don't really know too much about it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this book, guys, and I am going to read it for maybe 20-30 minutes, or maybe not 20-30 minutes, but I'm going to read it and see what the best thing I can do to make the best possible reactor. And then when I finish reading that, I'll bring you guys back and we start building it up. Alright guys, after reading the book a little bit, I come to the conclusion that I'm going to make a passive reactor, because that is the one that actually generates all of the power for us. The active ones do not generate power, they only generate this coolant, which is used for turbines. So what I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to build the reactor right here. I think I can do a 64 by 64 by 64, if I recall correctly. So I'm just going to go ahead and build a 64 by 64 by 64 reactor. And once I get the reactor built, I'll bring you guys back in. Alright guys, I'm in the middle of making this, and I realized I just don't have enough resources to make a 64 by 64. So what I'm going to actually do is cut it down to a 32 by 32 by 64. So this will be the new corner of it instead of having all this over here. Which means I'm going to have to break every single pillar over here one by one because this game doesn't allow me to break it any other way, so nothing I can do about that. But I'll give you guys an update why I'm not doing it 64 by 64. I am at the very least going to keep the 64 height though. Alright everybody, I built this reactor and, well, I couldn't build it 64 tall because the mod actually limited it at 48, but this is what I have, guys. I pretty much, to decrease the size of it, I used a quarry because I just made it a lot easier instead of just breaking everything by hand. But yes, this is very big, guys, and it probably took me 5-6 hours to build because I probably didn't build it the most efficient way possible, but ooh-wee, this is a big reactor, guys. All we should have to do now is place our controller down, our import and our output, and our power tap, and that should, as light goes on, become a fully fledged reactor. Oh my goodness. So this should be 100% working now, but I do need to get an Extreme Reactor's wrench now. Now, if you guys are wondering, I used hundreds of thousands of resources on this. You can see here I have only 9,000 iron left. My gold is only 1,300, and I had several hundred thousand of that. I don't remember what it exactly was, and even then, it's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. So let's make this go to output. We'll make this output, eject waste, and then what we're going to do is put the waste right down here into this barrel. Once I can break this right here, what I'm going to do is just kind of pop this down right here. Put this guy right here, and I just want to do this little part with you guys so you guys see at least some stuff what I'm doing. Then this will be the cyanite that comes out. Where's my dirt? It is. Okay. Break. There we go. And I forgot to lock it, so it's just putting stuff in there. Let's turn this off quickly for a second. I need to get my locker quickly. Where's my locker? Configuration tool. Okay, we should be good now. And then all I need to do now is get a pipe. I'm gonna go with mechanism pipes. Logistical. Did I spell it wrong? At mechanism. Where the pipe's at. I mean, I could use a pipe, but oops, I just tabbed on my screen actually. So we don't need thermo. We need no, we don't need either. We need, where are the pipes? Logistical. There we go. No, I am just gonna go with pipes because that'll probably be slightly easier. Are my pipes in my backpack? Yes, they are. Now I don't know exactly how fast this will pull it, so I'll just use an advanced one right here. That just change. Oh, look at that. It changes when it has an actual output on it. That's actually pretty cool, not gonna lie. Now we'll put this into here, and that should be fine now. And all we should have to do is put a exporter on here for uranium. So if we get an exporter, we get ourselves at refined, we get ourselves a speed or a stack upgrade. We get ourselves 3 of the speed upgrades. All we have to do is pop this on right to here, get that going in there, and get ourselves a single one of these guys, and it should just drastically fill this guy up. Yep. It's filling up as fast as it can. Oh man, we're draining fast. Whew. I wonder if I can tick accelerate this piece. I think that's going faster. Actually, I don't think that's going faster. Never mind. It's not working. But we do have this working, and I'm pretty sure this works best when it's fully maxed out. So I'm going to pause right now for a second, guys, and I'll bring you back in once the core is fully filled up with uranium. Alright, guys, we have just finished fully inputting all the uranium in there, and you can see it used pretty much 100,000 uranium to fill this thing completely up, which is actually crazy if you think about it. But all we should have to do is turn it on, and you do see I do have a, I don't know why I have that on me. I probably was, oh, I was fixing the automation earlier because every time I relog, sometimes it turns off. But I did get a point out here because I thought I should probably put the point on here. And of course, hopefully this counts as a forge wrench. Does. Nice. But I have to fix this now because of course I just broke it accidentally. Okay. And let's fix the one down here. Okay. Pop this guy back in here quickly. And then we need to put this on the in network. Then we turn bypass off because this is definitely going to be a lot. Or make sure it's all chunk loaded. That's fine being outside because I'll remove that in a second anyways. So all I should have to do now is just turn this on. And hopefully this thing doesn't blow up. So it's producing 1,000,000 RF per tick. Why isn't it outputting? Did I do this wrong, guys? Do I need to set it to output? Well, it seems like it's working. Let's get a mechanism pipe. Universal pipe. Because that can transfer a whole butt ton of power. Maybe I need to set it to pull. Well, if this is, pause it for a second. We'll get our logistical tool out. Let's see if it can pull out of here. Yes, it can pull out. Okay. So this should... Oh, you want to know what, guys? Of course it's not pulling out. Of course it's not pulling out. You want to know why? Because I'm not using the power just yet. Oh my goodness. I am kind of silly, aren't I? So, now that we have a giant producing, or giant block produces a bunch of power, we should be good on this regard. Now, I know I mentioned I was going to build a mechanism reactor. I need to make sure I still have the resources for it because this just took a whole lot of resources, guys. So I'm gonna go run back to base, and I'm just going to see if I have the ability to make a mechanism reactor, another giant, probably 18 by, I think 18 by 18 is the largest you can make the mechanism blocks. So I'll see if I can make an 18 by 18 mechanism reactor, or sorry, fission reactor, then an 18 by 18 boiler, and then an 18 by 18 turbine. And then we'll see if I can do all that or not. I have decided to go ahead and do the mechanism fission reactor, and as you guys can see here, I did build an 18 by 18 reactor here. We can see in here it is fully active, except not actually being in power. The first thing we're going to do is open it on up here. We're going to put a fission port in. This will be the fission port to put the actual fissile fuel in. And then back here, what we will do is we will break a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 by 3 spot. And this is where we will pump water in, because this thing just needs so much water that I thought I might as well just put all the water I possibly can in. And what I might actually do is do it like this. That way I can put the sink, or the sinks lined up right there, and that should be pretty good. And what I might actually do at this point then is just create another 2 of these guys, so I get an even amount, and just put 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh well, shoot! I'm gonna need to make another one, aren't I? We'll make another 2 more so we can get an even 4. We go right there, and right there, and right there, and right there. All we have to do is put these bad mamma jammas in. 1, 2, and 3, and 4. And that makes our guy back up again. We just need to get our... Actually, I don't think... Only input is perfectly fine. So all we need to do now is go here and get ourselves a bunch of sinks. Because we're going to just line up a whole bunch of sinks along the line right here. And I don't know how much fissile fuel... I mean, let's see. Max burn rate is pretty much 2 buckets, almost 2 buckets per tick, and I'm definitely not making that much, but we can see by pulling out a quantum integrity reporter, we can pop it right here and have it be on fissile fuel to set. We can have, I think it's a gas, so we can put it eject on the top, and we need to get ourselves some pressurized pipes. Pressurized pipes, and that should be good. That should be filling it up. Perfect. And it has a very large, very large right there. So let's see. This thing is also full, so that means we have a whole bunch of fissile fuel in here, ready to go. And I just realized we're probably going to need the exact same amount of outputs here for steam. So what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to build a turbine as well. Yes, I'm going to build a turbine as well as get more ports so we can have the same amount of outputs as we do inputs. And then once I get that built, I'll bring you guys back in and we can just see what it looks like at that point. Alright guys, I have all the stuff set up over here. I have the turbine set up over here. I do have a PowerPoint already put onto it just to get ready. I have all the steam outputs going with the pressurized pipes, which I just realized I forgot to make them all pull. But that's honestly a very easy fix. And also, right above us, I have trash cans going into water cans because we have an infinite sink, so there's no reason for us to really worry about ever having a lack of water because, again, oops, change that one. Because it will always be ready. Yeah, there we go. That's hard to do. But that's kind of it for that. And, oops, I did that again like a doofus. And what I want to do now is work on turning the output of this guy here into both polonium and, or I guess we already have polonium, so plutonium. We already have polonium in the system, if you guys remember. Polonium is it called? Mechanism. Right here, plutonium pellets. So we need to make polonium now, which is going to be made using the, what are they called? The nitrogen? The, right. Oh, come on, where'd it go? Maybe it wasn't me. Maybe, oh, it was neutron. Yeah, it was neutron something. How do you spell neutron? Right there. By using these, we'll be able to get the polonium, and using the polonium, we can get polonium pellets, and then we combine the polonium pellets with, where is it? With a HDP sheet and a plutonium pellet, we're able to get an SPS casing, and using the SPS casing, we can create an SPS which gives us antimatter. And this is what I'm very much looking forward to making, because that's kind of like the end game I can think of for pretty much everything that this entails. So what I'm going to do now, guys, is I'm going to set up a little bit of a neutronium line here. And once I get that set up, I'll bring you guys back in and we can start working on making the SPS casing itself. Okay guys, the setup isn't really too complicated right here. I just kind of have it mirrored on both sides, and down the middle I have some items coming in. So what happens is, these pipes pull out the nuclear waste and put it into the solar neutron activator on both sides. Then the solar neutron activator does this activator neutron type stuff and turns the nuclear waste into polonium. The polonium is then piped out into the pressurized reaction chamber, which, when mixed with water and fluorite, creates the polonium pellets. The polonium pellets will then be put into a drawer, which I haven't actually gotten out yet. Into a drawer right here. What I can do for right now, at the very least, is lock this. Because if it's not locked, it will just get filled with the fluorite. Because there is one more thing. Oops. Let me break it, please. Go. Just put that right there for now. So the fluorite, there's fluorite coming out of the interface here. I do have a refined storage receiver here, which is pumping fluorite into here. That is how we're getting our crushed fluorite for both of these two guys. And then we'll get our pellets right here. Now all I should have to do is turn this guy on, and it should activate both of these guys. Activating it should create a whole bunch of steam, which is then repeatedly getting pumped in over here. And you can see this is going very slowly, because I'm using barely anything as a burn rate. Okay. So what I need to do now is I can just slowly up this, and it should give us more heated coolant. Not enough to make this turn just yet. Oh, no, it's making it just barely turn. You can see it barely turning right there. And what we can do is just keep increasing this. Let's just put it to 10 for now. And that is giving us a whole bunch of RF per tick, which is super nice. So we'll just wait a little bit longer to see if we can get this thing going, see how much power this is going to give us. Because remember, there's no power output right now because there's nowhere to go. So I'm just curious, can we do 100? That's 10. Let's do 100 and see if this can keep up with it. So 100 cannot be kept up with, which is not good. So we're just going to pop this down to 10 so we can get it going back up. So let's find where it is. So let's try 50 right now. That's right in the middle. Cannot do 50. Let's try 20. 20 is working fine. So we'll try 30. 30 is slightly lost. So let's do 29 now. 29 is still a loss, so let's just go right into 25. 25 is actually pretty big gain, so we'll do 27 now. Should be pretty good, right? 27 is still a gain, it looks like, so let's try 28 one more time. 28 is let's see, it's gonna go to 5. Yes, 28 is the slightest gain we can get, so we'll just stop at 28 for now. And we can see this should be doing its job now by pumping nuclear waste out into here. Oh, looks like I forgot to set these guys to output. Now it should be pumping nuclear waste out of these guys into right here. You can see it's turning into polonium. It's plugging the polonium into there, which looks like it's not pulling the nuclear waste out for some reason. Does this not count as... Does it not count as a gas? Maybe it counts as a liquid. Okay. Choto confused. So what I'm going to do right now, guys, is I'm going to pause this, because I'm not fully sure why this isn't pulling the nuclear spent waste out. What I can do is put that in there, so it will automatically go into there for this moment. So I'm going to figure out why this isn't pulling out, because it should be pulling out. It has the space right there, and even if it wasn't a fluid, it should be eject on, output on the top. Yeah, guys, give me a second. I'm gonna try to figure out why this isn't working, because it's honestly kind of confusing me. Honestly, guys, I wasn't really sure what was the problem, because I just broke and replaced it, and it pumped the polonium out. Let's see if it does it after activating it. So it should be getting polonium now, and I'm guessing it's 1,000 millibuckets per piece. So we should see a piece pop in there, and we should see the dust go away. Perfect. I really don't know why that happened. I'm also making sure we have enough. I don't know if we have enough of these guys. We may need to get more of these. So, I mean, I made plenty because I wasn't sure how much I was going to need, and let's see, what is this at right now? 37. So, let's see, it started off at 37, let's say 38. If the next one is not below 38, that means this is going too fast, and we won't be able to handle it. So we can't handle it yet, so we probably should put more pipes down, more of these down, I mean. So I'll just put 2 more rows on each side because I like just being very on the safe side because I don't want any problems with nuclear waste. Because that's what causes explosions. And we just need to put our piping out right here. And what is nice about pipes is you just have to click it once and it turns it off from connecting. Then I'll come over here and do the exact same thing, and it should take all of but a few moments to do. And with that, we should be able to do it now. So it looks like 1 just went. So it has, let's see, 100. It already looks like it's doing better. So once this gets up to max, we'll check it out right then and there. Is this filling up? No, it looks like it's actually making it about the same rate. So it's at 144, and let's see what we'll be at after this goes back up to 1,000 and makes another 1,000 millibuckets of spent waste, and then we can make sure this is done correctly. Come on, a little bit faster. 1,000 millibuckets. Does its thing. And it's definitely a lot lower, so this is enough now, and that is all that matters. And with our polonium pellets, and with our plutonium pellets, we can create SPS casing. And with the SPS, we can create antimatter, which is awesome. Now, I don't think I want to work on antimatter this episode, but I guess I could work on antimatter this episode. You know what? I think I have enough time, so I'm going to, actually, no, what I'll do is I'll check the video, because I kind of record and then update as I can, and I'm going to see if we have enough time in this episode to work on SPS, and if we do, I will, oh, they're all sick, that's fine. I will go ahead and start making an SPS, which I will be making in my spaceship, because I feel like I have to make it there, because it's a spaceship. It needs antimatter for some reason, because maybe that's the fuel for warp drive or something, and that's what I'm gonna go with. Sure, it's the fuel for warp drive. So what I'm gonna do now, guys, is I am going to go look at my recording, see if I have enough time, and if I do, I will go ahead and start making the SPS casing. As you guys can probably tell, we are in space right now, and that's because I think I am going to go ahead and actually build the SPS reactor right now. As you guys can see, I do have it set up right now, but I don't actually have it built yet because I wanted you guys to be here when I actually build the SPS pieces. So, to make the SPS, we need HDP e-sheets, so I'm just going to make a whole bunch of them, if you guys remember. From our bio fuel setter, we have a whole bunch of HDP pellets being made from the extra substrates, which is why we have a whole bunch of those being made continuously, pretty much perpetually forever. So going back to SPS, if we just move everything off the side over here, just put SPS over here just in case it gets put off for a second. We need to make, I don't know how many we're going to need to make of these, so I'm going to make 5, or I'll just make a few at a time, honestly. And what I've been doing is pretty much just using the guy right here and just replacing all the columns, because I had it set up here because I wanted to make sure to have it at least somewhat ready. So now all I should have to do is make these guys, and let's just start with like 32. That should be a decent amount. Or we'll start with 31. So I should just have to put it all the way around right here and have to put it below there in a second, which I can do. Let's do the upstairs first, over here. So we'll break all my placeholder blocks right now. Actually, the first thing we should do is put uses and make 6 of these guys. Oops. Uses. Oh, it looks like it just does that right away. So we'll just go boop, 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 and boop. We'll get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, which looks like it pretty much used all of our SPS cases. But I can at least have you guys pop in here with me, and we can place these guys down relatively quickly, and hopefully not break our spaceship too much while doing this. So put that right back. We'll take our SPS case, put it right there. Put one right there. Right there. There. And finally, right there. And, oh, wait, no, finally right here. And there's one more thing we're going to have to put on the inside here. I think it's called a coil. Or some variation of coil. Yes, supercharged coil, which I also can't make because I don't have enough materials for it. So what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to get enough of the SPS cases to fix this up, and also get enough for the supercharged coils. And once I get all those materials, I guess, put together, I'll bring you guys back in, and I'll be able to finish building this guy off completely. Alrighty, guys, I've been AFKing for quite a bit, and you can see I've gotten 304 of these SPS casings now. So if we can run back and head all the way back to base, we can go to our space station. And we should go down quickly so we can get ourselves some XP. It's usually 2 of these, I think. Nope, looks to be a little bit more. That back in the system, and then we can go back up and go right to space. We can leave all this gloominess behind. Now that we're in space, we're lag free from all of our bases and stuff, we can hopefully get this all guy fixed out. So let's just honestly make as much as we can, because I'm probably going to need more than this anyways. Let's see, we need to go right here, right here, right here. I pretty much need to get all the surroundings of this, and that will be enough. Maybe I actually do have enough, which would be very nice to see, to be honest with you, because I was kind of nervous I wouldn't have enough for this. And, oh, I just realized since I made all those, I don't know if I have enough plutonium for the super duper guys right here. So we need 1, 2, 5, and 1 more. Makes that 6, and then we can just dump all these guys back into the system and go back to our super coil guys over here. We can pull out, or 1. I thought we made 5 or 6. Did we not? Oh, I might have miscounted, I guess. So quickly go ahead and make 1 more of these guys, and then we'll finally get our final supercharged coil in here to get 6. So what we're going to quickly do is probably just break through right here. Probably don't need anywhere specific to break through. Let's just get ourselves the reactor glass so we can get it out pretty easily. So these need to go on each of these guys, and with that we have all them placed. Now all we need to do is place this in here. Unfortunately this is peeking out of the top a little bit, as you guys could have probably told from just seeing it. But we just need to fill in all these spots around the base here now, and I don't think it looks too bad, honestly. I think it looks halfway decent at the very least. So we need to fill one in right there, and we need to get all the way around over here. I'll just go around to the other side to get in over there. That's right there, and then we can come back over here, fill it in, right there, and right there. And we'll just sneak back here. I'm gonna have to go through the ceiling again, just to make it easier. And we'll just dive ourselves back on the other side. And I want to make this with you guys because it's probably like some of the biggest things in the mod, I guess you could call it. It's like some of the end game stuff. So I think it's only fair to do it with all of you guys present. And it looks like we only need to really get this side right here, which unfortunately looks like we're going to be breaking to the outside in. I'll try to figure out some way to make this not look as bad, but it's going to be kind of hard if I'm being honest with you, but I will do my best. And if we go right there, and right there. I did that wrong. I put that one inside accidentally. Did I do this correctly? I think I did this correctly. I guess we'll see very soon. And I think all I have to do left is just this side right here, right? So, oh, it looks like I made a perfect amount actually. Yes? Is there a controller I'm missing, guys? So, you know, I think there is a controller. Never mind, there is no controller. I was just being dumb. I forgot to do that corner over there as well as this corner right here, which should give us our SPS. So, how do we use this SPS? So let's go to Antimatter. I can show you guys. So to get Antimatter, you have to put polonium into the supercritical phase shifter, the SPS, and you get Antimatter out. So what I'm going to do is just simply get polonium into one of these guys, which I'm probably going to end up... that's a very good question. Now, I was told there is a day-night cycle in here, so it should be fine. So I'm going to most likely end up changing one of these guys over to making myself some polonium. Probably this one right here, to be honest with you, because it produces the fastest, so I can just shove it into the area over here, which means I'm probably going to change my output, or my input and my output, back over here. Yes, okay, I just had extra reactor glass. Good. So we'll get the polonium imported into the top. And with that, what I'm also going to do too, guys, is what I need to do is I need to put power on each of these guys on the back here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I think I'm going to start by putting 800,000 RF per tick into each of them and see how much that depletes my power. Of course, I'll go back and activate my big reactor as well, because you guys remember I did turn that off because I just wanted to make sure to get this guy up and running before I have that big reactor activated to not waste any of the power that it has. Okay guys, connecting this last piece right here should give us a fully active SPS. And we can also probably cover ourselves up while coming inside now. Yes, there we go guys. I can also cover back up here too. And I need a little bit more of this iron casing. Fortunately, I have a whole bunch extra. Now I might just block off a little bit more right here just so I can get that covered off as well. I'll do the exact same thing on the side so it's more hidden. But there we go guys, we are now successfully turning polonium into antimatter. It's wonderful guys. I do have all these set, as I mentioned, to 800 RF per tick. I could bypass the limit and use a whole bunch, but there's no reason to because I'm not making polonium fast enough to warrant it. But as you guys can see, I do have 4 antimatter, so everything is working really well, and this guy is just giving us all the waste we need to make the polonium to get this guy going. And I think this is a great place to end the episode off. Next episode, what we can do is work on using the antimatter we have with our little output we have right here and turning it into some more stuff. And that'll be a great place to start off next episode. Now that we have this guy going here, we have a complete setup in this little base. We have our little, I guess, control center. The waystone is kind of like our control panel to guide us in the stars where we want to go. We have our 2 auxiliary engines, our, I guess, jet powers, and then we have finally our, I don't know what you want to call this, like our fusion mega awesome power that gives us fuel to fuel our ship to do some warp drive speeds, which is what powers our little waystone over here. Once again, thank you guys very much for watching this episode. I also just noticed that I'm going to have to change what I do here and bring the oxygen out here somewhere. So that's going to be something else I'm going to have to do next episode, I guess, too. Once again, guys, thank you very much for watching this 27th episode of my Direwolf20 119 Modpack series. I look forward to seeing you guys Monday for my next episode. Thank you guys very much for watching. I'll see you guys later. Bye.